Welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest. We're here, we're on our way to replace a water pump on a 2002 Chevy Tahoe. I think it's a Tahoe, I don't remember. Yeah, it's gotta be a Tahoe. Anyways, there's two different options for a water pump. I think one of them you could upgrade no matter what, but if it was the smaller one, you can't upgrade it to the bigger one. And so I just grabbed a smaller one and a bigger one if it's the, you know, what was I saying with that? For some reason I felt like I had to grab both. I don't remember. The diagnosis was 100%. I mean, I was going to put a pressure tester on this system, but when I just poured water in there, it started pouring out from behind the water pump. I said, you know, we can replace the gasket, but it doesn't make sense. You know, we better just replace the water pump as well. So we're heading up there to do that. I've got the 3 of them here. Just return the ones I don't use. And anyways, here we go. We're heading up there, and we'll get this car back on the road because it's not drivable right now. It was pouring out. Dang it. What's I telling you, man? I can't remember anything. I have so much going on. I just remembered I was supposed to grab my fan clutch tool. Dang it. We'll see. I don't know what those guys are doing on those motorcycles, but they're all over the place. It's a rainier day. Nice. I brought my big umbrella, which I recently got because I'm just tired of working in the sun. I've been doing it for the past couple of years, and I'm like, you know what, just get a big umbrella. Why not? But there's actually a big old shade tree casting shade right here. Sometimes I plan stuff out like that. If I go to do a diagnosis, I'll look around. Okay, there's a tree there. Where is it going to be shady during the day? But now I've got that big umbrella, so I don't have to worry about it quite as much. But not on this one either. I sure hope somebody's home with the keys. Maybe I can grab that wire and pop the hood from here. Yeah, I think I can. We'll just pop the hood from under here. Don't need the keys. This family knows me, so if they just look out the window, they'll be like, oh, I'm here fixing their car. No, I'm here to steal it. Steal something out from under the hood with my pliers. Grab that little wire right there. All you gotta do is grab it, then pull. Come on, baby. Grab and pull. You know what? Probably don't need to even grab the wire. Just grab the lever. There it is. No keys needed. We're working on the cooling system, people. All right, well, there's a little bit of sun here and it's about to get worse, but we'll see if we go fast here what we get done. Yeah, just make it easy. Remove all this junk out of my way. I don't need that shroud on the radiator. It looks easy. All right, let's get started. It's already hot, and that sun's coming around the tree already in the direction where it's just gonna keep giving us more sun. So I'm gonna set up this umbrella. Like I said, I'm tired of working just in the sun, which I can do, but you know, I've got this. Gonna use it. The only thing is, if it's windy, this probably won't work very well, but it's usually not too windy. Let's see. Like that ought to work. Right there. It's not too heavy. Not too heavy at all. Let go wires. Clean up all this stuff. Take that, son. There you go. There's the setup. That looks nice. Professional. Not really. It doesn't really look professional, but it'll keep me cool. I'll still be hot. All right, we'll just pop up these little clips. Luckily, these kinds can be undone with a flathead screwdriver, so I don't have to spend any time looking around for my clip remover tool, which I don't know where it's at, but I'm sure it's just under something in the back because it did get put back in its drawer. Oh, no, it's okay. Like I said, these come out. If it was a different kind, I'd be spending more time doing that. So we'll do this, take this off. Our clip's right there. It's nice when I can just park my truck in front of it too, because then I can put stuff on the bed. Dang, why did I take that off? I don't have to take that off. So I can see everything. All right, this hose, just take it off just so it's not in the way. Doesn't need to come off probably. Water in there because it leaked all the way out because they were driving when it first started leaking, and then I filled it up with water to test it. It's probably most of the way gone now, whatever's below that point that's leaking. Tighten her up. We're gonna loosen her up. That's good enough, I'm sure. Let's see what we can do here. Nothing much. Wiggle. And do a little wiggle over here as well. There you go. Doesn't have to go anywhere special, just out of the way. This hose can come off as well. Oh, it's a big old clamp. It's a bit bigger. I heard that. There. See for a second. What's up that heavy hammer again? So basically, without breaking the hose, I just try and give it a little bit of a wiggle to pop that seals up onto that outlet. This one's plastic, so you want to be real careful over here, but it's a gentle twist to pop her loose, and we do have some liquid on the top of this, but not anymore. Give this a twist. Start pulling the muscles in there. Almost. Okay. Let's just there we go. Alright, and this, same deal. No more special. Out of the way. Put it over here. I don't come into a job with like an idea of how everything's gonna go. Typically goes pretty well. Honestly, don't even think, oh, I want to do it in a certain amount of time or not. Just as efficiently as possible to where I know I'm doing everything right. Not gonna mess anything up. So that's the goal. Oh, zip ties holding that on. Some wire cutters. Out she comes. Give us the room to work on that. Pull that fan out of there. What is this? Oh boy. What's that all about? So there's the end. There's something interesting. There's no bolts holding this fan clutch on, so getting that off would have probably been not doable with the tool I have anyways. So, oh yeah, we got gunk in the cooling system. Got a tool we can look at that with. We'll try it out later. ASAP. I have a reason to take this all the way off everything, but pretty much does anyways. I don't know how to get this fan clutch off actually without having those little bolts on this fan pulley, water pump pulley, but I can get the fan. Can I get the fan off? It's a bit perplexing just because the only times I've ever been able to grab them is when they have little bolts on the pulley. So yeah, I gotta take out that bracket too. Oh, thank goodness. What's this? Oh yeah, look at that wiggle in that water pump. It's bad. While this is still here, I may be able to actually get it out because we definitely have a new pulley for it, so I don't mind grabbing onto this with a pair of ice grips and marring it up because we got a new one. Then I've just got to get a wrench. Make sure I have a wrench big enough to grab onto that, which I don't know if I have in this truck. We'll see. Sometimes I like to turn things into problems in my head before they're actually a problem. And then I'll think, I'm like, man, sometimes they don't. A lot of times though, these fan clutches will thread on the opposite of the spinning of the engine. So they never get put on tight because they don't have to. They're never going to tighten. And so I actually just grabbed onto this little pulley here with a pair of vice grips. And just got the bottom of that vice grip wedged up underneath the bottom of the throttle body. Could have been anywhere I was aiming for here, but just the way it went on, that was fine. And I'm like, oh, I don't have a wrench big enough. Wow, I've got these good grip and pliers that are pretty big. And man, I barely had to do anything to that. And it just turned. So, just creating problems. We may give them that kit with a new. There you go. All right, getting moving here. We're gonna take these Heater hoses off. Maybe braking thing. Come off. It's like one of those satisfying things, like just scraping this dirty, greasy oil residue up, whatever you call this stuff, grime basically. Sometimes I like, it doesn't even matter over here, but it's just so satisfying. I'm like, yes. But anyways, point I was getting to, that's the magic bell, is with the new part, you have a map of where all your bolts are, so you're not left guessing like, oh, did I leave one out? So I always just slap the new one up here somewhere where I can look at it, and I just look at the bolt holes on here. So then I go, you know, one by one. You can even take, if you know which one you're going to use, in this case I have two, but you can even take the bolts out of the old one and stick them straight in the hole for the new one. So if they're different links, you don't get them mixed up. It's a good tip. I'm not going to do that with this one though. Probably not. Just because maybe that one and maybe the other one. Not easy, you're going to hard way. This is this way. Oh my goodness. Screwdriver time. Put this in front of the hose. Push it off this way. Supposed to do that. Press those knuckles. Now push. Oh, if you can. What is that? Remember which one's which, but I think those hoses are different sizes, so not a big deal. Lower hose now. Just do the thermostat housing. Don't lose it umbrella, then start to blow it. Alright, yeah, we'll do that thermostat housing next. Let's see, we've got 2 bolts in that. Yep. Some 10 millimeters. But up and wrong before. Not this thing. We got new gaskets set for all these as well, so gaskets on there. Oh, thermostat. Let's see how it looks. May reuse it. I've got a new one. Hopefully we got a gasket at least for that, because it looks like the gasket's pretty worn out. I mean, we got a new thermostat too. Just a matter of if we should replace it or not. Don't know. All right, let's get rocking here. Down on this one. Yeah, it looks like these may all be 10 millimeter bolts. That's pretty cool. It's consistent. Oh, we got a bit of corrosion on there. It might have had a leak for a while. The way it comes out hard like that might be rusty. Yeah. That one's done. Dinner's ready. Lunchtime. I want some lunch. Alright, that's the last one. It took them out after this. We may need a pry bar to pop it loose. Those old gaskets have rubber on them. Might be sticky, but I'll turn that on. I'm good. Alright, let's compare these. This is out. Not too bad of a job here. Let's see. Nothing obvious here. Alright, so occasionally I just like accept tools from people. I'm not pushing this on anybody. There will be a link in the description, but I'm not making any money. They just said, hey, you want to review it? Because people like to get a review of their tools. This one seems pretty nice. I actually like it a lot better than my other camera because it's a lot smaller. My other one's kind of just like old-fashioned feeling. Anyway, so I was like, yeah, send me one. Why not? If I like it, I'll review it. If not, you know, you'll never see the video because I'm gonna tell that company I didn't like it and they probably won't let me post a video. But actually, I was just looking at this because I didn't look at it real well and they said, hey, we'll send you one. It has 2 cameras on the end. One comes out the side. So that's like super cool. Yeah, look at that. That's super cool. Anyways, the screen's nice, an IPS screen. And it has this 5-meter long cable that doesn't really crunch like my other one does. My other one's like that corrugated cable, and like so when you bend it, it doesn't really return to shape. So supposedly this one doesn't do that. But basically what I want to see is because when I pulled that water pump out, it had some crunchiness in there. Again, pretty nice tool, and it has its own battery in it. Poke around inside here and just make sure the cooling system isn't just terrible. It has an SD card too, so I think you can record stuff. Oh, that's the brightness. That's nice. Easy to use there. this is the first time I use it. I gotta figure out how to turn this screenshot. Wait. Do the rotation. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's how you do it. Oop, oop. That's nice. So you can kind of orientate yourself. Anyways, going on too long about that. I want to see. Turn up the brightness. I want to see if there's like some corrosion in this cooling system, especially inside this block. Doesn't look like it. Can't tell that well though. This is actually really cool. This camera on the side. So let's switch the camera. Oh, look at that. Man, that's awesome. Yeah, nothing crazy. Water pump was just a little weird, but you know, look down around the corner inside there just to see. First time I've needed to use it. I don't use inspection cameras often, but when I do use them, they come in handy. Man, this one's nice. So yeah, you'll definitely see this video. I think the company was gonna give a discount link or something. They usually do. I'll ask them just to make sure. So check the description for that. We're gonna use the water pump that comes with a new thermostat because it will replace either of the two options. And I don't know what the difference between the two options are, but that one says it'll replace both. So there's a gasket here, obviously, because one of the kits says don't use the gasket if it's a 2003 or newer. This one's a 2002, but there's old gasket on there. So check that other one that's supposed to replace both, and it has gaskets with it. That's a gasket, so I'm assuming I'm gonna replace those. It's gonna be a little big. Look for that. Just enough to get in there. So I'm gonna pull it out. I'll pull all the dirt out with it. Don't forget those in there. If you're gonna do this, do not forget to take those out. Let's just get the hammer. All right, well, I could have been done by now if I wasn't just like talking and. Sometimes just take your time. What's wrong with that? Yeah, big old gasket. This is the one that was leaking. Get the majority of that big stuff off, and we'll use this. You can use a wire brush, and I say that like, don't say, hey, Ernest said I could use a wire brush. You can. You have to use the right kind, like the brass one specifically, or best case, just don't do it. Use a little scraper like this. That's not going to leave scratches across the gasket surface and cause a leak. All right, I'll check back in when I get these cleaned. I gotta do that other one too. It's harder to reach. I don't remember what I called this truck earlier because I don't really care or remember, but it's definitely a Tahoe. So if I didn't say Tahoe, that's what it is. 2002 Tahoe. It's just about cleaned up, and then we'll do that other one. And I just use the scraper the whole time. It's not going to cause you any issues unless you're done with it. Phew, it's a little dim. Dim of wits. Alright, we got our rags out. Don't forget those. The surface is clean and dry. Come back and take this apart just because the gasket's leaking. A little cut on my knuckle in a hole because some brake clean found its way into something stinging my knuckle. Alright, that's good. Get that dry. Just gonna take off 2 seconds in this heat and get the new pump in. All right, finally got an answer. It's this gasket. I'm like, because right here it's like the gasket in the box will not be needed. I'm like, what gasket? I'm like, there's 3 gaskets. That has a gasket. It looks the same size. I can't imagine it not needing a gasket. It's a pressurized cooling system. But it's talking about this little gasket for the thermostat. And the one that we need is this one. So I'm like, oh, finally, there's the answer. So that brings us back to which one are we going to use? Probably still the same one because it fits both anyway. So we'll do that. There she is. It's a new pump, it's the same one, manufactured by the same company. Okay, how are we gonna do this? Everything's nice and clean. Bada boom, bada bing. Like that. One up to the top and one down to the bottom. Crazy. Same thing on this side. This thing's a little heavier than it is. done. There's nice little accessories on. Might as well put the belt on before we put the fan clutch back on. Remember how this went. Leave just from the experience as well. It should go, but not enough tension on any of those to get them spinning. That's it. Okay. Again, in theory, you can hand tighten these fan clutches. I'm going to tighten it just a little bit tighter than hand tight. Just make it tight there. Then grab it with my big pliers and tighten her up. This. Just the whole engine, so tight. That's nice and tight. This cover back on, that hose. This is a job well done. Double check everything for a 5th time, make sure nothing's in the way. It's going to get hit when it starts spinning. I mean, I could have gone way faster, but it probably took about an hour anyway. I don't know, when you're having fun, time flies. Who knows? Forget my vice grips right here. And I'm hot. It's hot. Hot, hot, hot. How hot is it, you ask? Hey Siri, how hot is it? 91 degrees, so it's definitely been hotter past couple of days, but something about right now has got me hot. We got one last job to do, sway bar. Probably a different video, check it out. Probably come out after this one, I don't know actually. Yeah, pretty funny that the keys weren't even there, but I'm like, whatever, I'll just pop the hood. So I trust this family. I work on all their cars, so no worries about getting paid. And I'm gonna go get some lunch and do that other job. Got 3 water pumps. Wasn't really ever convinced on one of them or another, so I used the one that would replace both just in case. And that tool's pretty interesting actually. It's going to be my new go-to inspection camera. Like I said, I don't use them often, but like occasionally my kids stick a what am I trying to say? But occasionally my kids stick a toy down the drain in the bathtub or something, and I've got to see what it is, how I need to pull it out. So I've used them in the house probably just as much as out on my jobs, but it's really nice to have one that small at least, and good quality. That camera's anyways, check out that link. I don't get anything from them, but looks like something you want, check it out. That's a job well done. Everything's packed up, straightened up, coolant's topped off, and the GoPro camera died when I was putting it back together, but it looks exactly like it did when we took it apart. Of course, this is way more complicated than it's supposed to be. I was just going to replace the sway bar, which is broken. You can see the end of it there. I'll show you a little bit better later. But when I jack this tire up, there they are. There's like the old pieces of those old bearings that were in there. But this thing was just ridiculously broken.